A Chrism Mass is a liturgical celebration in the Catholic Church characterized by the blessing of oils, the renewal of priestly promises, and the celebration of priestly ministry. That is why a Chrism Mass is typically celebrated on Holy Thursday. However, the 2025 Chrism Mass celebration in the Diocese of Kumbo held on Wednesday the 16th of April at St Theresa Cathedral, Kumbo. It was a massive turnout of not only all priests serving within the Kumbo ecclesiastical circumscription, but also of Christians from all parishes and pastoral zones, as well as members of consecrated life. Tabenken deanery animated at this Mass that was presided at by the Chief Shepherd of the Diocese, Bishop George Nkuo. The spiritually profound reflection given by the bishop, as it were, focused on the priestly ministry while highlighting the importance of priestly service. The bishop pointed out the significance of the three oils that would be blessed: the oil of the sick, oil of catechumens, and chrism oil.
This year's Chrism Mass, like all the celebrations we have during this Jubilee year, should easily be christened the Chrism Mass of hope. Because the people of God in Kumbo have refused to be driven by fear. They have refused to be discouraged in the practice of their faith. They have refused to be defined by pain and suffering imposed on them by this senseless political crisis. We bless the oil of the sick, that it might bring comfort and healing to bodies, to mind and spirits who are afflicted. We bless the oil of catechumens, meant to strengthen those prepared for baptism, who will face the struggles against all that is contrary to God's will and God's ways. Together, the priests of the diocese join me in consecrating, setting apart, and making holy the oil distinguished by sight and smell, the chrism used to create priests, prophets, and kings at baptism, and to seal those same priests, prophets, and kings with the Holy Spirit at confirmation. The chrism is used to anoint the hands of those set apart for priestly ministry, as we will do next week.
To the priests soon to renew their promises and to administer the sacraments using the blessed oils, the bishop exhorted them to be selfless servants.
The ministerial priesthood is in no way a privilege. It is a particular vocation to serve the people, to spread the gospel with zeal and dynamism. There should be no space for personal or partisan interest in exercising the sacred priesthood that we receive so generously. Above all, let us avoid every form of power and big man palaver.
He also called for collaboration among priests living and working in the same parish or institution, and the priests then reaffirmed their commitment to the ministry by renewing their promises in the presence of the bishop. It is worth noting that this renewal was preceded by a day of sanctification for priests on Tuesday, a day before. Over the years, it has been the practice in our local church of Kumbo to use the Chrism Mass as an opportunity not only to pray together, but also to support the bishop and his work of evangelization. Parish after parish, group after group, institution after institution, one diocesan service after the other, took part in the longest ever offertory procession to donate generously to the bishop. In Kumbo, these gifts are rated in terms of cows. A cow is 250,000 francs. And while others could give a cow, other parishes give far more than 10 cows. Others gave elephants, others bikes, others goats. Individual families and the Okada Union made a remarkable impact too.
Despite the difficulties, the crisis, and the situation we face now, they give me that courage. So I thank my friends.
Bishop Banlanjo Bushu took part in the celebration and we registered his impressions.
I was very happy to be able to be at this Mass. The pressure is very high. I think that is what one would expect the Chrism Mass to be. Very, very active participation by everybody. And it went on for many hours, but it didn't seem like many hours. So I thought that was a great celebration.
It must be noted once again that when the bishop goes around visiting parishes, he listens to the Christians and discerns their needs and attends to their projects or needs with the money from this account, reason for which he receives this massive support.
Okay, yes, you want to come, yes, come.